I'm gonna make you co-host.
Yes, please. If everybody can grab a brush of, I am.
You know what you do? Turn your volume on your laptop all the way down so you don't get feedback.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. If everybody could grab a Rosh Hashanah, the gold book, they're right over there. We're gonna all need one today. Hi. Nice to see you. Thank you.
We have this, share. There is one there, it's a lot, I don't know why they say a lot of them missing. I know, but it's not on the left, so that's just. Look, it's Thursday. You're harder and fun, it's so nice to see you. I was from Norris. And you're gonna sit over there. I'm not gonna sit there. It's not a good day. My friend, I need to make it. You guys are in middle school and. No, you're done. This is yours. It's certain. Two are. Oh. Yeah. But also.
All right, we're gonna get started in 1 minute. Like I said, if everybody can just grab one of the gold books from up there. Your Rosh Hashanah Machzor, because we're gonna be using this today. If you're online, I have slides, so you'll see the text online. So everyone needs one of these books. They're right up there. Yes. I love it. Once everybody has one, we'll get started.
Sylvia, can you grab one for me? I was just looking around. Everybody needs one, everybody else. Thank you. Oh, I have to get a video. That's all. Yeah, good. Thanks.
All right, we're gonna get started. First off, I just wanted to introduce myself because I realize I am still new. I wonder how long I'll be new. I think the whole year, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. So
newest.
I'm newest, exactly. So I'm Rabbi Ashira Boxman, and I started a month ago. Officially did a month, which is exciting. I have a month in the books. And I'm loving my experience so far, being here with all of you. It's the most warming feeling to be around every single one of you every time, and it has not changed. So I'm looking forward to it continuing. And now it's my first time to teach Lunch and Learn, which is also very exciting. And you guys are lucky you get to be those first learners with me. So count yourself lucky. Gratitude. And so today, as you saw in the theme of these 4 sessions, is we're preparing ourselves for the high holidays. It's been almost a year since they were last, as they come every year. And a lot happens in a year, a lot of new experiences, some positive, maybe some more negative, more sad. But each year we arrive in the same place. We listen to familiar tunes, we read similar readings every year, we listen to sermons, which change every year. We're surrounded by the same people maybe that we sit near during services. But something I want to change for you all this year is when you're in the service, I want you to feel like you really are understanding every single part of it. And when you do that, it's going to allow you to connect, I believe, closer to each prayer and make the whole service experience, your whole high holy day experience, that much richer. So the way that this 4-session curriculum is going to go is each session we're going to go over 2 prayers. So today we're going to start with Hineni and the Unatana Toket. Okay, so before we really dive into Hineni, which is what we're going to start with, I want to start with getting us in that mindset of high holy days. So we're going to start with a little meditation. Okay. So I invite you to arrive. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, and let it out slowly. And again, inhale deeply and exhale slowly. Let your body settle into your seat. Let the noise of the day, the distractions of the world gently soften. Let yourself land fully in this moment. These weeks leading into the high holy days are not just a countdown, they are a journey inward. A sacred time for return to Teshuvah, not just in thought, but in heart, in presence, and in soul. I invite you now to imagine standing at the threshold of a gate. The gates of reflection, the gates of honesty, the gates of possibility. You don't need to walk through just yet. Just notice them. Notice what you carry with you as you stand there. Hopes, regrets, longings, questions. Breathe into that space and know that this time together is not about arriving at answers, but about asking brave questions, about remembering who you are and who you want to be. May this be a time of softening, a time of grounding, a time of preparation, not just for prayers on a page, but for the work of the soul. Take one more deep breath in. And when you're ready, breathe out. And gently open your eyes. And let's begin. So a question I want to begin with relating to Hineni that I want to start us out with. I want you to imagine that you are standing before God. Or maybe if God isn't an image for you, I want you to think about a very influential figure in your life, someone who you have great awe and inspiration for. And Hineni, here I am, here you are. Where would you find yourself in that moment? How might you be feeling as you stand in front of, whether it be God or a really, really awe-inspiring individual in your life? What might be on your heart? What might be in your head? How might you be feeling? So I invite you to think about it and maybe share something.
I'm inspired by learning so much to learn, and I certainly need it. Everyone with the life in Jewish. And the person I'm thinking of is my mother. She's in past year. And September 15th, it will be 1 year. And she was my inspiration. I never met a woman who read and studied with her so much. And she would go to the library, she would get 3 800-page books, and they were done in a couple weeks. She was a reader. So she gives me inspiration. And she is the mausoleum. So I have my mother's right here, the spirit of hers. And that is really a joy to be hopefully.
Thank you, Fran. Anyone else? How might you be feeling if you were standing before God or someone very awe-inspiring? Yes, Robin.
I have kind of a new relationship with God in the past year. So I imagine myself standing in the doorway to the sanctuary and connecting with God, noticing our relationship, the Torah, feeling a part of the tribe. And when I'm doing that, nothing else exists, which I love.
Thank you, Robin. Anyone else?
Well, I have an experience, but of course, it's kind of long, so I wouldn't really share all of it. It's just that I was an I-4 as in Orlando. Things were I-4 east-west, right? It's really timing as well. Yeah, but anyway, I am behind a truck. Right? Yeah, I was behind a truck in traffic. And I heard a voice that get over to now and go on the side of the curb, for the truck coming behind you, not gonna strike. So I looked through my windows and mirrors, no trouble.
It's
No truck coming. And the voice came again and I looked and really see a light of distance. That's all. And the voice came again and tried to decide to back on the path to the side. And the truck come all the way to the back, go to the phone, just ran into the truck in front of me. And the cars fell off the truck, not fell on my side, but on the other side. So I'm always reflecting on these experiences, God can speak in voices, and sometimes I have to add into it.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you. Okay, so what we're gonna do with Hinani is we're gonna first listen to it and first get in our mind what it might sound like. So maybe it'll bring back some familiarity. And then we're gonna dive into actually understanding the history of where the prayer came from, what the purpose of it is, and then we're gonna go through it together and read through it, okay? So first I'm gonna play the music and I just want you to listen. If you wanna close your eyes, however it's helpful for you to listen, be my guest. Let me share my screen.
What pages are on?
So I don't want you yet to look at it in the prayer book. We'll get there. I'll give you that soon. Hold on. Let me share my screen. Okay. I need to share my screen. Oh. All right. Ron, you there?
Yes, I am, Ashira.
Will I share the sound of the video without sharing my audio?
You should be able to play it. If not, put the link in the chat and I'll share it.
Okay, I'll do that. So we can just make it easier.
No, not only can I not see it, but not hear, now I can say either. It's dark because they haven't started, you're only going to hear the music, the sound.
There it is, Ron.
No problem. If you unshare it, I will turn around and I will share it.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay, hold up. Share the video.
Can you turn it up, Ron? Ron. Ron,
Yes,
we can't,
can you hear it?
oh,
No.
and can you go back to the beginning? Thank you.
Sure.
No sound.
That's weird. Okay, hold up. 1 second.
Sorry, everybody.
1 second. Hold up. Let's go here. Let's go share. Okay, I understand why. Here we go.
Here we go. Now.
I'm so sorry.
הנני העני ממס נרעש ונפחד ממי אני באתי לעמוד ולהתחנן לפניך אף על פי שאיני חדש והגון לך לכן אבקש ממך אדון המחילה בוחן לבבות שומע תפילה גולי עמוקות היום ונורא שדי היה נא מצליח דרכי וקבל תפילתי כי תפילת צדיק וזכאי עם כל נעים ופרקו נאה ומעורב ודעת עם כל הבריות הלנת אבשיהם בחטאותיי ואל תחייבם בעוונותיי ואל יהי שום מכשול בתפילתי כי חוטא ופושע אני באתי לעמוד ולהתחנן לפניך אף על פי שאיני כדאי והגון לך. לכן אבקש ממך, אדון המחילה, בוחן לבבות, שומע תפילה, גולה עמוקות, היום ונורא, שדי. כי אתה שומע תפילה ורוצה בתשובה. ברוך אתה שומע תפילה.
Thank you, Ron. So yes, it's a beautiful, beautiful arrangement. Hineni was created because the leader of the prayer service, the Hazan usually would recite it, felt this immense, overwhelming pressure that he or she had to be the person to repent or be the person to take the repentance from the people to God and present it to God, and felt, who am I with this great responsibility? Who am I to have that responsibility? To be the person to speak directly to you, God, to give you all of this from the people in my congregation. And so this tradition was actually created centuries ago in a European town by a cantor by the name of Yossi of Sloni. And Yossi actually did a dramatic acting out of this, which in some congregations still today, sometimes it's done. But the acting out that he did is he would stand at the back of the congregation and he would have somebody in the congregation say, where is the cantor? And the cantor all the way in the back would say, Hineni, here I am. And then a second person would say, why are you standing at the entrance? Why are you not up here in the front? And he would answer and say, Hineni, I am poor. Is he begging for money, they would ask? And Yossi would reply and say, no, I am poor in good deeds. And so again, it's this dramatization of us standing before God. We do this at the beginning of the High Holy Day services. And it's a dramatization of us looking at God and saying, we are poor before you. Give us acceptance to stand before you on this day and allow us to bring you the prayers and the teshuvah and the repentance from our congregation. And so it expresses trepidation and it expresses humility. And so as you heard in the music, it kind of also conveys that in the tone. It's very soft. And so Hineni, the reason we say Hineni and not Hineni, because that's probably how you might have heard it before, Hineni, here I am. We say Hineni because that's all, so you have the double translation of Hineni, here I am, but Hineni, I am poor. So there's that double translation. So now what I want us to do is I want us to go into the prayer together. So if you want to open your books and turn to page 17, and we'll look at the prayer together. I'll share my screen for those online so you can see it as well. We're going to look at it together and discuss why the words might be what they are, how they make us feel, if we relate to how this cantor might be feeling. If you're online, hold on. Can you see it well? Yes? So we're on page 17. Let me just open up my book. Okay. So as we see, it's at the beginning of the service. So I will read the English and then I'll pause for us to reflect together, okay? Hineni, here I am. Here I am, so poor in deeds, I tremble in fear, overwhelmed and apprehensive before you, to whom Israel sings praise. Although unworthy, I rise to pray and seek favor for your people Israel, for they have entrusted me with this task. Therefore, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, God of Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, Adonai, Adonai, merciful, gracious God, who inspires awe, I pray to you for success on my path. I pray for myself and my community. Do not hold them responsible for my wrongs and offenses. May my deeds cause them no shame, and may their deeds cause me no shame. So I'm just going to pause there. We read the first half. What do you guys think about this? What do you think of the tradition that was created? What do you think of the words that are being used in this prayer? Do you relate to them? Do you feel distant from the words? How might you feel if you were the prayer leader at this moment?
Humility.
Humility. Yeah. Do you want to say more?
No.
No. Great. Someone else? Yes, Susan.
The phrase at the very beginning that really hit me, so poor in deeds. And I don't see myself that way, which is not a humble statement. So the focus has to be changed to think about our inadequacies more than what we do right.
Yes, no, I agree. Yeah.
Except this is the prayer that the cantor. It's not personal. It's not a personal prayer. It's a prayer that the cantor recites on behalf of the congregation. So, yes, if you were thinking about it, I don't think I'm poor in deeds personally. But yes, I believe my congregation is poor in deeds.
Okay.
So if I was standing up there, yes, I would be able to recite this prayer.
Thank you. Yes. And then,
We're lucky to have so many great ideas and comments. And therefore, I'm asking everybody to speak loudly so we can all hear and benefit from our
thank you,
wisdom.
Susan.
And if I know it's maybe what you can do is repeat the comment.
You got it. Got it. Thank you.
But it says, oh, I'm sorry.
1 second. First, and can you share your name? Because they're
Mindy.
Mindy. Hi, Mindy.
He seems to be laying on the Jewish guilt pretty thick.
Right? Now we know where it all comes from. It's forever ago. Yeah.
It says, I pray for myself and my community. So it's not only for the community, but it's praying for itself.
Yeah. A question I have for you all is something that stood out to me was at the end, it says, I pray for myself and my community, do not hold them responsible for my wrongs and offenses. May my deeds cause them no shame, and may their deeds cause me no shame. It's this interfacing of, I don't want them to affect me when I stand before you, God, and I don't want anything I did to affect my congregation. It's again, we see that communal aspect, that it's like, we're not in this alone, but we're in this together, and therefore what we do affects each other. Yeah.
I see this as a declaration of openness and honesty. And even trust, because my fate is or the congregation's fate is in your hands. Offering who we are as it's almost like a nakedness, a bearing of the truth.
Maybe even a supplication,
Mhm.
you know, asking for a sense of, acceptance.
Yeah.
I see humility here.
Mhm.
That's where we have to come to in order to face what we need to improve in, but I see humility.
Yeah. And I have to say, as the prayer leader, and then I'll take you, Lauren. As the prayer leader, I appreciate this prayer more than anything. Because I've done high holidays now 3 times at internships, been on the Bima for all the high holy days. But especially now this year being my very first one, you know, at Temple Bethel, it does feel like this huge sense of responsibility to be in that role, to be the person in between, right? To be the messenger. It feels like a lot. And so to be able to say to God, I'm just the person in between. I'm nothing, you know, it's not that I'm nothing, but I don't see myself as the person who's gonna deliver all of this, right? And so I think it's important, for any prayer leader, for themselves, not just for the community, but for the prayer leader themselves, to remind themselves of this at the beginning of the service.
Do you mean like a facilitator?
Yes, exactly. It's like the middleman.
Sorry, I couldn't get.
She said like a facilitator.
Okay.
We're like the middleman. That's how I see it, between you guys and God. Which is kind of crazy, right? Yeah.
I hate to admit this, but this is the first time I ever realized that's what the prayer was. Don't judge me.
No judgment.
I always thought of us, the congregation, as being there as individuals praying to God, not that we have, okay, you talk.
Right.
So,
That's
learning
okay.
something new.
Well, at the end of the day, we are Reformed Jews. And so our interpretations are varied. And so I'm just sharing with you the context of where it was created. But I agree. I think this prayer has so much openness, to all of us, to also center us. I see this prayer as a nice centering prayer to say, here I am. I'm standing before God, this all, you know, whoever you believe in, something way greater than yourselves, during this once a year time to come and be honest with yourself about the things you did this past year that maybe you weren't proud of. And so it kind of centers you. So I personally don't believe this is a prayer just for the Chazan or the rabbi. I do believe that it's a prayer, it's a centering prayer for all of us. Let's move on. Next page. Okay. Accept my prayer as though it were offered by one more worthy of this task, a scholar, proficient in prayer, unblemished in character, pleasing in voice. Let love be our banner, let it banish our wrongs. May Israel's strife and misfortunes be turned into joy, renewed life and peace. Love, peace, and truth, may they prevail among us. And may there be no impediment to my prayer. Adonai, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, God of Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, great, mighty, awe-inspiring God Most High, who said to Moses, I will be what I will be. May it be your will that my prayer reach your presence for the sake of the righteousness and blameless, the honest and pure of heart, for the sake of your glory. You hear your people's prayer with compassion. Blessed are you, the one who hears prayer. Let it sink in, the words, maybe look at them a little bit. Any takeaways from these words before I offer a question?
It's, I will be what I will be. It's like, this is what I am, and this is.
Talk louder.
Oh, I'm sorry,
You're talking to everybody, not just.
I'm talking to everyone, okay? I will be what I will be. That's what really.
Stood out to you.
Yes.
So that is actually referring to Ehyeh. which is how God presented God's self to Moses. I will be what I will be. And I think that for us, it's a way for those who might struggle with who God is in your life. This is a way for you to connect with God in a different way. Right? It's Ehya is this idea of God constantly a source of becoming. A source of becoming. So I think that's why that was placed there. And also a reflection of us as humans, that we are constantly becoming. We will be what we will be, right? Anything else stand out?
You know, I think it's again to let those who read it realize who God is. It's true to remember it. It's who He is. I am who I am. I think we all need it.
Yeah. A little bit.
I think we all need that.
We all need that reminder of who God is, that God is constantly becoming. I will be what I will be. So I have a question. Something I noticed between the last page and this page was, again, we have God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, God of Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. It's one prayer and it has it twice. There's not many of our prayers that has that twice. Why do you think that this prayer specifically includes our ancestors' names twice?
It's how important they are.
Like reverence.
Loud.
Reverence.
Reverence.
Probably would have say it 20 times, so people hear it and repeat and learn it and imprint.
So to say it so that we remember it over and over again. Judith and then Maddie.
My first indication was that He was the God of Abraham, Isaac, that He also was our God. And so as you keep going down, He also is our God.
Right.
So that we started that way, and
Yep.
that was my feeling.
Thank you. Maddie?
I think also that the reminder that I'm still the same God as I was with the ancestors, and I have a history, and that is something that has not changed.
Right. All right, we have to move on. I want to take so many more, but we have to keep moving. I just want to say quickly that I think it's also a reminder that just like Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, we also are standing in that same place.
Yeah.
They stood before God with this humility and this, trepidation on this day. And we are linked to them. And therefore we're doing the same thing. And so it kind of brings in this idea of tradition and ancestry, Lador Vador, generation to generation, and it's passed on. And then maybe it also gives us some comfort that they too were scared, maybe. They too were feeling these similar emotions. So now we're going to move on to Unatan and Tofket. So first, like I said, we're going to listen to it. So Ron, I'll need your help one more time. Let me just get that link for you.
Thank you.
Yep. I just want you guys to listen. I know it's hard because you want to read it while it's going, but I want you to just be in that just listening mode. And I'll stop so you can start. There we go.
1 second.
While we're waiting for this to load, I want to make clear that each of these prayers could be its own course. And so if it feels like it's going very fast, I apologize. I'm just trying to squeeze in as much.
קדושת היום, כי הוא נורא ואיום, ובוא תנשא מלכותך, וייכון בחסד כיסאך, ותשב עליו באמת. אמת כי אתה הוא דיין ומוכיח ויודע ואין, וחותם בסופר ומונה, ותזכור כל הנשכחות, ותפתח את ספר הזיכרונות, ותפתח את ספר הזיכרונות. ומאליו יקרא וחותם כל אדם בו.
Thank you, Ron, again. Wow, right? That one always gets me. I feel it right here. If you notice, there's a difference in range, right? We have a very, oh, why don't you tell me, what did you notice in the range of the music? How it started, how it ended?
There's long notes, there's short notes, he extended the accent, he nailed it. There was a lot of different melodies in this piece that he performed. Incredible voice.
Thank you. Long notes, short notes. It was drawn out, it was louder, it was quieter. Susan?
There was a point in the middle where he had sort of paused slightly, and then he came out with this, like a wailing, and it was like, hear me, I don't know what the words meant, but it was very moving to hear that. Do you know where I'm talking
Definitely,
about?
yep.
Yeah.
And when we read the words, you'll understand soon why. So Unatana Toketh means how utterly holy this day is. Utterly, it's intense. This is the prayer that we say when we really stand before God in our most vulnerable state, And so I'm going to share with you, oh, yes, Lauren.
So is this song both days of Ashira?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. There's a really, I think it's a very crazy legend that was said to have been the source of creating this prayer. So I'm going to share it with you. It's actually a piyut. It's referred to as a piyut, like a poem. The story goes, there was this Rabbi Amnon of Mainz in Germany. And 11th century, supposedly this happened. Supposedly this Rabbi Amnon was very, very wealthy, very known in the community. And so the archbishop at the time wanted to constantly convert him. He would constantly come over to him and say, convert to Christianity, we need you in our faith. And he would always say no. But at one point he got annoyed. How many more times is he going to do this? So instead of pushing him away this one time, he says, give me 3 days to think on it, and then I will give you an answer. In those 3 days, supposedly Rabbi Amnon felt sick to his stomach, so depressed, went into deep depression, wouldn't speak to anyone. He couldn't believe that he even told the bishop that he was even going to think for a second about this. What a disgrace to God. So finally, the bishop is saying, where is he? It's been over 3 days. Where is he? Where is he? So the bishop makes arrangements to have him mandatory appear before him. Rabbi Amnon comes before him. And the bishop keeps yelling at him, why didn't you come? You told me 3 days. And Rabbi Amnon says, for the sin that I have done, I should have my tongue cut out of my mouth. For the horrible speech that I spoke, that I would give you that even opportunity for an answer of 3 days. My lie that I created, I should have my tongue taken out. And the bishop responds, it is not your tongue that should be punished. We should cut off your legs. For that was the lie that you did. You did not walk to me at the 3rd day with an answer. We should cut off your legs. Goes ahead, cuts off Rabbi Amnon's legs, goes ahead, cuts off his arms. Rabbi Amnon is now the day before Rosh Hashanah at home and is feeling terrible, again depressed, with no limbs. The day of Rosh Hashanah comes and his family comes to his house and says, Rabbi, Father, you need to come to synagogue, it's time for shul. They bring him, they drag him in. And as they drag him in, he's crying, he's so upset. And it's right before the Unatana Tokef, which actually wasn't created. So it's actually right before the Kaddish, because this is where you sanctify God's name. So before he sanctified God's name, he uttered the words Unatana Tokef, just the first line. And supposedly the story goes that he then died right there on the bima. And he did that as a way of saying, this is the holiness of this day, and I'm not worthy of that holiness after what I did. He uttered those words, and away he went. And then it goes that 3 days later, it's not over, the craziness is not over. 3 days later, Rabbi Amnon appeared in a dream to Rabbi Kolonimus ben Rabbi Meshulam, appeared in a dream. He taught him the prayer, the Unatana Tokef prayer, and instructed him to spread it to all the Jews around and disseminate it to all of the diaspora and have them incorporated into the prayer service going forward. That's what we have as the history of this prayer. Is that not the craziest thing? Every time I hear that story, I'm like, what? But I think it just goes to show how everything we say, everything we do, the intention behind it is so important. We tell people, I know myself, I tell people all the time, I'll be with you in a minute, or I'll get back to you tomorrow, right? And we forget sometimes. It's human. But when we make promises, when we say we're going to do something, it's so important that we do it from a place of purpose. So anyways, that's the history of Unatana Tokef. So now when we go in to read it, I want you to think of that image of this story and maybe why that image, how it contributed to the creation of this prayer, of this piyut. Okay? All right. Also, one fun fact I want to share with you. This piyut, for me, this is like one of the main ones that I know about our High Holy Days. This is like the one, right? On Rosh Hashanah, it's inscribed, on Yom Kippur, it's sealed, right? Like, we really know this. In Sephardic shuls, this piyut is optional. It's not one of their main ones. And it's a very Ashkenazic piyut. I thought that was really cool.
Why is that?
So I tried to find some digging. I think at the end of the day, what I found is that it was where it was created. It was created in Eastern Europe, which is where all the Ashkenazi Jews were. And it didn't travel across to the Sephardic people and where they were living. Okay, so let me now share my screen so that and let me tell you the page. So the page that I would like you to turn to is page 174. And because we're short on time, I'm gonna read through the whole thing and then we'll just reflect on it, okay? Okay. 174, 175. Nope, it's 174. On the right side where it says Una Tanatokef, it's the second verse.
Oh, good.
Let us proclaim the power of this day, a day whose holiness awakens deepest awe and inspires highest praise for your dominion. For your throne is a throne of love, your reign is a reign of truth. In truth, you are a judge and plaintiff, counselor and witness. You inscribe and seal, you record and recount. You remember all that we have forgotten. And when you open the book of memories, it speaks for itself. For every human hand leaves its mark, an imprint like no other. So actually, I'm going to pause between each page because I also want to share something with you. The words of this piyut has a lot of references to biblical and Talmudic verses. And you can tell where they were incorporated. So for each page, I'm going to share with you one reference that is made. So for this page, I want you to look at where it says, you record and recount, you remember all that we have forgotten, and when you open the book of memories or records, it speaks for itself. This idea of a record book is taken from Esther, from this verse. That night sleep deserted the king, and he ordered the book of record. And he brought it to the king to read to the king. So I thought that was cool for you guys to see how this piyut was drafted. It was taken from all these places in the Bible and from our Talmud. Let's move on. So turn the page, 176. And so a great shofar will cry, Tekiah, a still small voice will be heard. Angels in a whirl of fear and trembling will say, behold the day of judgment, for they too are judged. In your eyes, even they are not blameless. All who come into the world pass before you like sheep before their shepherd. As a shepherd considers the flock when it passes beneath the staff, you count and consider every life. You set bounds, you decide destiny, you inscribe judgments. So read the part where, if we just read the part where it says, all who come into this world pass before you like sheep before their shepherd, as a shepherd considers the flock when it passes beneath the staff. We find that in Leviticus. Someone want to read that? The English? All tithes of the herd or flock of all that passes under the shepherd's staff, every 10th one shall be holy to Adonai. Again, you see this pattern of connecting biblical verses to the Unatana Tokef. It's pretty cool, right?
Oh my God.
All right, we move on. This part is the part that probably is most familiar to all of you. Turn the page to 178. On Rosh Hashanah, this is written. On the fast of Yom Kippur, this is sealed. How many will pass away from this world? How many will be born into it? Who will live and who will die? Who will reach the ripeness of age? Who will be taken before their time? Who by fire and who by water? Who by war and who by beast? Who by famine and who by drought? Who by earthquake and who by plague? Who by strangling and who by stoning? Who will rest and who will wander? Who will be tranquil and who will be troubled? Who will be calm and who tormented? Who will live in poverty and who in prosperity? Who will be humbled and who exalted? Turn the page. But through return to the right path, through prayer and righteous giving, we can transcend the harshness of the decree. You are everything that we praise you for, slow to anger, quick to forgive. You do not wish the death of sinners, but urge them to return from their ways and live. Until the day of death, you wait for them. You accept them at once if they return. Since you created us, you know our impulses. We are but flesh and blood. And the reference we have for this is from Ezekiel 18:32, where Ezekiel says, "For it is not my desire that anyone shall die," or actually God says, sorry, this is just recorded in Ezekiel. "For it is not my desire that anyone shall die, declares the sovereign God. Repent, therefore, and live." And we see that theme reflected in these words. And then we have one more part, if you turn the page. We who are mortal, our origin is dust, and so is our end. We wear out our lives to get our bread, like broken vessels, like withered grass, like a flower that must fade, a shadow moving on, a cloud passing by, mere dust on the wind, a dream that flies away. And our last reference that I included is from Genesis 3:19. By the sweat of your brow shall you get bread to eat until you return to the ground. For from it you were taken, for dust you are, and to dust you shall return. And so we see that visibly in these texts of this view. Someone said something to look forward to. So we have 4 minutes left. I'm so sad how fast this went. I want to do more. But there's a lot in this. And like I said, we could spend a whole session on just this piyut. Before we go though, I want to give you guys an opportunity to create something for yourself. I'm gonna pass out some sticky notes, and as I'm passing them out, I'll share with you what you're gonna do. So what a lot of scholars have done is some of them have created more modern takes on the who shall blank. Oh, thank you. Who shall die? Who shall live? Who shall have calmness? Who shall not, right? And so there's a lot of modern takes. So some people, I have a modern one that I'll read to you for inspiration. But what I'm asking all of you to do is to think of just one. Who shall blank? Who shall blank? Something, maybe something personal to you in your life that you can create for yourself. And then to close, if you want to share, we're just going to go around. But I'll read to you an example to give you more context of what I mean. Okay. This is what I mean when I say a more modern day one. When we really begin a new year, it is decided, and when we actually repent, it is determined. Who shall be truly alive and who shall merrily exist? Who shall be happy and who shall be miserable? Who shall attain fulfillment in his days and who shall not attain fulfillment in his days? Who shall be tormented by the fire of ambition and who shall be overcome by the waters of failure? Who shall be pierced by the sharp sword of envy and who shall be torn by the wild beast of resentment? Who shall hunger for companionship and who shall thirst for approval? I'm not going to read the rest because I don't want to take all of them. I want you guys to get creative. But do you understand what I'm asking now? Try and craft your own modern day one. Just one. Who shall blank and who shall blank. Okay? So you can take 1 minute, 2 minutes, and then if you feel comfortable, I would love for you to share. Basically, what I'm asking you to do is write who shall something negative and then who shall something positive. The opposite of what that might be.
Oh, you want negative first?
It's either one. It's just that's how the piyut kind of phrases it. So I think if you want to copy like the
I
piyut.
thought positive goes first.
It doesn't matter. Okay, so let's start over here. If you don't want to share, just say pass. That's totally fine and no one will judge, okay?